With the first pick in the 1997 WNBA draft, the Houston Comets select Tina Thompson.
It was an honor to be the #1 pick, but what excited me most was all of professional women's basketball was entering a new era.
Teresa Weatherspoon at the buzzer, a three! Oh, she put it in! Lisa Leslie, she got that for the first time in WNBA history!
The DNA of the W evolves. This generation has demonstrated to the world that women's basketball is fearless, unstoppable, powerful, and legendary. This is not just about arriving. This is carrying a legacy. This is the WNBA. It's what we do.
We welcome you to the WNBA Draft 2026, presented by State Street Investment Management SPY. We are at the Shed at Hudson Yards. Azzi Fudd, ready to hear her name tonight. How about Marta Suarez? Yeah, terrific handbag there. Flaugier, after, performing at the top of the Empire State Building in Awa Fam Tiam. The talented Spanish center ready to get selected as well. Been a busy offseason already. Free agency, the buzz has not stopped. How about Angel Reese, traded from Chicago to the Dream? Satu Sabali joining the New York Liberty and all the talent they already have. Nneka Ogwumike, the legend for the LA Sparks, back out west with LA. You also have Skylar Diggins headed to Chicago with a completely revamped Sky this season, and Gabby Williams moving to the Valkyries. Golden State looking to build off what was a historic expansion season. Everybody filing in, and we are about ready to go as we welcome you to our perch. Hey everybody, Ryan Ruocco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Andrea Carter, so happy to be with you for the 2026 WNBA Draft. Rebecca, I know you feel like this is an especially historic night for all the young women who are about to be selected.
Ryan, this is the best draft in the 30-year history of the WNBA to be a draftee. And it's not only because of the huge increase in rookie salaries, but the huge increase in opportunities for these players to make a roster. From last year to this year, you have 54 additional roster spots, not only because of the 2 expansion teams, because of the 30 slots you now have for those developmental players. I think you're going to see more, or you could see more rookies on opening day rosters this year than we have in a very, very long time.
Drea, we also have something else that is new, and that is some drama at the top of the draft tonight.
Yeah, Rebecca just named some guarantees, right? More money, more roster spots. You know what's not guaranteed is who is the #1 overall pick, and it's because there are few talented players that could fill a very specific need for Dallas. If Dallas wants sharp shooting, they would go with Azzi Fudd. If they want a true point guard, they would go with Olivia Miles. If they want someone who is versatile and has size and can be a defensive monster on that end, they would go with Awa Fam Tiam. There are 3 players who have excellent cases to go #1 overall. And a lot of people may think they know who goes #1. I know I heard a ton of fans cheering for Azzi Fudd, rightfully so, but we can't say for certain, which is different than previous years.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Meanwhile, historic night for UCLA. We know that for sure. For more on the national champions, let's send things over to another Hall of Famer. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, Ryan, it was just over a week ago that this team was making history as the first NCAA national champions, and they have a chance to make history again tonight. Coach Close, about half your team might be drafted tonight. How have you developed the talent of these people behind me, but also the character and the quality of these young women?
Well, it starts with them. They have to have the commitment to put in the work, to develop the championship habits, as well as to become pro-ready. I also have an incredible staff who's been so intentional with our player development plan, so I'm just along for the ride.
Okay, the ride should be fun tonight. How nervous are we right now? Anybody? Kiki?
We're excited. What not to be excited for?
Okay, Lauren, how we feeling?
Excited, nervous, all of it.
Okay, tummies are churning. We're all very excited up here. History will be made tonight one way or the other. Ryan?
Oh, no doubt, Holly. Well, you see the potential draft picks tonight for UCLA. First of all, this group of 6 seniors accounted for 100% of UCLA's points in the Final Four, something that had never been done. The draft record for most players selected in a single draft from a single school is 5 players. It's been done 4 times. UCLA has an excellent chance to have 6 players go tonight, which would be a new record. You can't say enough about Corey Close, these 6 seniors, that team, and what they've done this year. And I guess the party continues for them.
What a life-changing 8 days it has been for these young women. They bring their school their first NCAA national championship in this era, and now 8 days later, they're finding out where they're getting to go play. Nothing changes your life quite like that at that age.
Well, I think about how special this night is for everyone who is involved, right? But it's certainly special for the national championship winners that just won a week ago. And then even more so for UCLA, who has 6 draftees on their roster. And what I really enjoyed about watching UCLA was how everyone, especially the seniors, looked like they knew their role perfectly, and they executed their role to a T to contribute to the collective success. That's what you need in the WNBA, to understand your role and know how to do it with your team.
Their role tonight for all of them is to limit their nerves as best as they possibly can until they hear their names called.
It cannot be easy. Well, it is about time to officially get the festivities started tonight. For that, we send things over to the podium to the commissioner of the WNBA. Here is Kathy Engelbert.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2026 WNBA Draft presented by State Street Investment Management SPY. I say this every season, but it truly bears repeating. This is the most special night on our calendar. Tonight, we welcome the next generation of stars to the WNBA. To the outstanding draft prospects, congratulations. This moment is the result of years of dedication, sacrifice, and belief in yourselves. Take a breath. Take it all in. Think about how far you've come, from early mornings and late nights at the gym to big games under bright lights. And now to this stage right here, this is your moment. And what a moment it is to be joining the W. You're joining this league at the most transformative time in our history. Together with the amazing athletes of the WNBA, we've just reached the most historic collective bargaining agreement in the history of women's sports. And we are expanding, and we're thrilled to welcome the Portland Fire and the Toronto Tempo this year to the league. We're also reaching new heights in visibility with new and renewed broadcast and marketing partnerships that are elevating our game around the world. We just unveiled our Season 30 campaign, announcing that this year will be both a celebration and a launch pad, and will honor and celebrate the players, moments, and communities that built the WNBA, all while introducing our most ambitious slate of fan activations to date, creating a season-long experience that brings fans closer to the W than ever before. All of this is to say to our draft prospects right in front of me, you're arriving at the perfect moment. This is the start of the next incredible chapter of our league story, and I can't wait to see how each of you helps write it. And with that, it's time to officially get this draft started. Dallas Wings, you are on the clock.
All right, Commish, thank you very much. Well, you take a look at consecutive first overall picks in the history of this league. Go back to Seattle, Lauren Jackson, Sue Bird. You know what that yielded? Titles. How about Seattle again a decade and a half later? Jewel Lloyd-Stewie, titles. Aces, Plum, Asia, Jackie.
Titles.
That's right. And the Indiana Fever hope Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark eventually equal titles. Dallas now building their foundation with Paige Beckers, the #1 overall pick last year, and now this year they have the #1 overall selection as well. And I know, Rebecca, what Dallas has done this offseason already, the way they've revamped the roster has caught your eye.
It's been impressive what they were able to do in free agency, especially shoring up their front court. When you look at the signing of Alana Smith and Jess Shepard, both of those players can be really helpful. Alongside Paige Beckers, Arike Ogunbowale, can they build a big three through this #1 pick?
I love the addition of Alana Smith. I mean, you talk about someone that works so hard on the court. She can defend multiple positions. Their defense immediately gets better with the presence of Alana Smith. And you mentioned shoring up their front court, which when we were debating about who the first pick is going to be, seeing the moves that Dallas made in free agency makes me lean a little more towards the AZ Fudd train for the #1 overall pick because of the way Dallas has added to their front court already.
All right, let's get the official. This is some intrigue this year on who's going to be #1. You're saying AZ, Drea.
There is intrigue. I was really thinking Awa Famtiam because, not to go too deep into their matrix, when you think about someone that can set a ball screen, short roll, create out of that, where the defense, if they have to give attention to Famtiam on the inside, that opens up opportunities for Arike Ogunbowale, Paige Beckers, whether it's an on-ball screen or an off-ball screen. But I'm going AZ. She immediately feels the need of three-point shooting for Dallas.
After the way AZ Fudd was a stud in the Final Four in the national championship a year ago, and the way she was playing early on this season, I have felt all along that AZ Fudd is the right fit for Dallas.
Well, we are going to find out right now. Let's send things back to the podium to get the first pick of the draft. Here is Commissioner Kathy Engelberg.
With the first pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select AZ Fudd, University of Connecticut.
AZ celebrating with her mom, her dad, her coach, Morgan Valley, here representing UConn, while Gino Auriemma is at a celebration of life for a member of the UConn family tonight. And you hear the reaction from the crowd, including her teammate once again, Paige Beckers, who you just saw celebrating, as AZ Fudd is officially the #1 pick of the 2026 WNBA draft. So the first team All-American headed to Dallas.
AZ Fudd is an elite shooter who could be an all-star as a rookie. Efficiency was the name of her game, in particular from the three-point line, where she shot 45% this season, can get to her mid-range, playmake, and also was an elite defender on the perimeter this year.
Yeah, 45%, that was a career high for AZ Fudd. She also averaged a career high 17 points per game, made 117 threes on the season. She's a sharpshooter with a high IQ, but she's also a great cutter. Excellent footwork, quick release. There are so many things that AZ can bring to an offense immediately with the space that will be on the floor for Dallas because of her presence.
She also becomes the 7th member of the UConn Huskies to be selected #1 overall. Let's send things over to Holly Rowe, who is with AZ Fudd.
Well, AZ, this moment seems destined from birth. You're named after a famous basketball player, Jennifer AZ. How did your family imagine this moment for you and help you put all the hard work in to get here?
I mean, my family means everything to me. They poured into me so much, from being my coaches, my brothers being my rebounders and passers, my grandparents, moving to Connecticut, coming to every game. Every single person in my family has done so much for me, and it means everything that they're here with me today.
One of my favorite pictures we ever saw of you is your arms saran wrapped around you. They've had a vision for how to make you better as a basketball player. How have they made you better as a person?
I mean, like I've said, they were my coaches on and off the court, but they just showed me what it means to be a great player, a great person. Every single day it was just the standard that it was like to be a great person, the excellence. I mean, I don't know, everything Oh my gosh, I don't like hearing myself.
All the boxes are checked. Thank you, Mom. Katie and Tim, you did a great job. All those boxes are checked for this young woman. You know, your whole UConn team here in the front row yelling at, cheering for you and screaming your name. How important is it for you that you have built this chemistry, not only with your teammates from UConn, but moving forward for the Dallas Wings?
I mean, the fact that every single one of them is here shows you just the chemistry and what they mean to me, the support, and I plan on bringing that, being a great teammate, doing everything I can, whatever the team needs, yeah.
Okay, comfort level, because you've been in the backcourt before with Paige, right? There's a comfort level of who you're, stepping onto the court with next round.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited to play again with Paige. I mean, she's an incredible person, incredible player, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, you, Paige, Arike, buckle up. Let's go, Dallas. This is so fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly.
By the way, I agree with Daisy. It can be a little disorienting hearing yourself reverberating.
It takes some time to get used
to. It does. It takes a moment. But really excited to see AZ in Dallas.
Yeah, certainly. I think she absolutely fits beautifully what they want to do, the kind of offense Coach Jose Fernandez wants to run. Remember, Dallas, one playoff series win since 2010. I would be surprised if this Dallas team is not certainly contending for a playoff position this year.
All right, Minnesota is on the clock right now with the number 2 overall pick. After they had the best record in the WNBA regular season last year, they also, thanks to the shrewd moves of their front office, have the number 2 overall pick this year. They will be without one key piece until midway through the year, Napheesa Collier, Drea.
Yeah, I mean, and Napheesa Collier, obviously, so much versatility, an MVP candidate. She does so many things for this Minnesota Lynx team. Because she will be back, because she is on the team, there are 2 areas where I think this pick could go, and that's the point guard position or the center position. We talked earlier about Alana Smith now being in Dallas. That's a hole to fill. I know they have Natasha Howard, and they added her this season, but to me, 2 ways that Minnesota could go with this pick.
And it's not only Napheesa Collier being out for a while. This is a bit of a revamped roster. No Alana Smith, no Jess Shepard, no Bridget Carlton, no Dejanay Carrington. Yeah. Those were all important pieces for this Minnesota team a year ago. Number 2 pick when you've had such a great record the year before, you're building for the future. I don't even think you're considering need. Is it Fam or is it Olivia Miles that you feel like is going to be the one who can really help you long term?
Well, we're going to have that answer in just a moment because the pick is in. Let's go back to the podium right now to Kathy Engelbert to find out who the Minnesota Lynx will be selecting number 2 overall.
With the 2nd pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Olivia Miles, Texas Christian University.
Well, Olivia Miles, the dazzling point guard, the number 2 overall pick after all her success at Notre Dame, headed over to TCU. You see the hug for head coach Mark Campbell and the Big 12 Player of the Year there, a 3-time All-American. And Minnesota has been able to have the success they have the last couple of years without a traditional point guard. Now they certainly have one in Olivia Miles as she goes 2nd to the Lynx.
Olivia Miles is an elite and creative playmaker in the mold of Chelsea Gray and Tisha Penicheiro. The numbers she put up her senior year, ridiculous. 19.5 points a game, over 7 boards, over 6.5 assists. And Ryan, yes, dazzling with her passes, the velocity that she uses to deliver them with both hands. Just an elite point guard.
She has such excellent vision, the ability to know where her teammates are, where they need the ball to be able to score effectively. She is excellent in the pick and roll game. You mentioned Chelsea Gray. She told us that is her favorite player. She's also grown in her ability to knock down threes. 79% of her jumpers are off the dribble, so she can create her own shot as well as her teammates. 6 triple-doubles this season, 12 in her career.
And Olivia Miles is with Holly Rowe.
Hearing your name at number 2, what went through your mind as soon as they called out that pick?
I mean, it's an incredible feeling. So much anticipation. Oh, whoa.
It is weird. Okay, let's just get used to it. It's loud in here. This is us talking.
But yeah, the anticipation is unlike anything I've ever felt before, and then to actually hear it and to have your dreams come true, it's amazing.
We talked earlier, and I said, what do you want to bring up in this interview? And you talked about the adversity that you hit in your career. The ACL, you had to sit out for a long time. This year, you rediscovered something special about yourself. What was it?
Betting on myself. You know, at the end of the day, you and your family are the only ones that need to have your back. And I trusted in myself and knew that this decision was right for me. And I think it played out pretty well.
You're talking about going from Notre Dame to TCU, where you had an incredible year this season. I know that your family has been crucial in your journey. Tell me, you've got a little special shout out to them, don't you?
So I had my parents' names and my brother's name stitched into my suit top, if you will, and the date, of course, just to pay homage to people who have been in my life and my career and supported me through so many ups and downs and the adversity that we were just talking about. So I love them very much. They're sitting right there. I love them.
Close to your heart, what a perfect place. Last question, the Minnesota Lynx, they have championship DNA. This is one of the best franchises in all of sports. How can you add immediately when you step on that court?
Yeah, I think I have the highest IQ as a guard, and my feel for the game is unmatched. So I'm just, sorry, I didn't mean that, but I did not mean that in a harmful way, but just the way that I play and the way that I flow with the game, I feel like I can add to the team really well.
Okay, Lindsay Whalen's going to be your coach. She'll decide if you have that flair, but I can't wait for you to learn from her. She's one of the best ever. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Love that innocent confidence there, Olivia Miles. She goes 2 after AZ Fudd goes 1. Who will go 3 to Seattle? That's next from NYC.
The WNBA Draft 2026 is presented by State Street Investment Management, SPY, official ETF partner of the WNBA.
Well, AZ Fudd, Olivia Miles, you see them as young girls, the first and second pick of this year's draft. Now Seattle on the clock at 3. Andrea, I know just off our open of the broadcast, something stood out to you when we talk about the revamped Seattle roster.
Yeah, we started this show and it was like WNBA headlines and showed multiple departures of superstar players, and back-to-back-to-back players were from Seattle. Gabby Williams, Neko Gumake, and Skylar Diggins. When you talk about the departures, Brittany Sykes, another one as well. They have lost big pieces from the previous season. It's interesting what they do from here.
I mean, no harm when I say this in terms of Seattle, but this is a team that is now shifting their focus to build young talent. It's okay to be in rebuild mode after you lost the veterans that they lost a year ago, and certainly not only with the number 3 pick in this draft, but in the drafts that we have coming in the next couple of years. It is a good time for a team to commit to a rebuild.
And we know trying to build with Dominique Malunga, very talented young player who was a rookie last year, who will join her in Seattle. Back to the podium to Commissioner Kathy Engelberg.
With the 3rd pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft, the Seattle Storm select Awa Fam Tiam from Spain.
So Awa Fam Tiam, who there was plenty of buzz about potentially going first in this year's draft with her talent and upside. The Spanish center goes 3rd to Seattle, and now we get to see the incredible intrigue of Dominique Malunga, Awa Fam Tiam, how they fit together on the floor as Seattle shifts fully into this rebuild. Going to be so interesting to watch. And one thing we heard from so many of the Team USA players who went up against Spain in Puerto Rico just a month ago, they were all so impressed being on the floor with Awa Fam Tiam, getting to see her up close. Now we all will in the W soon enough.
See her up close, striding past them with her long strides as she glides to the rim. She's 6'4", but she's long, athletic, agile. She's so quick with her spin moves, the ability to pick and roll and create opportunities to score. She can put the ball on the floor. She can knock down jump shots. Again, at 6'4", 6'4", already with guard skills and post skills. She has such a high ceiling going to Seattle. And my mind is already thinking Seattle could have a lineup of 6'4", 6'4", and 6'6" out on the court at some point.
Let's stick with the numbers. Not only 6'4" in height, 6'8" wingspan, 19 years old.
Yep.
She and Malunga can hang out at the underage clubs out in Seattle because both of them so young and a great future for the Seattle Storm team to build on.
You see the reaction at Seattle Storm draft headquarters, and Holly is with Awa Famtiam.
Well, Awa, this is such a special moment for you. Spain in the WNBA draft. We haven't seen this country all the time, and I know you're very proud. Do you feel right now?
Well, I'm super excited. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm going to try my best. So representing Spain for me is special. You know, being always with the national team is always special. And being here in the W, it was my dream since I was only 12 years old. And being here representing Spain is like, I'm grateful.
Your brothers are here with you tonight, and I know that they are part of the reason why you got into basketball. Tell me about Karim and Tala.
Yeah, Karim and Tala, they are two crazy people, no? They are here. Look at them, they are there with the cap and the. But yeah, I started playing basketball thanks to them. They are all of me, like they are my best friends. I always like, they are my best supporters, always with me. So thanks to them, really, for all my people, for all my friends, but more for my two older brothers.
You turned 20 in June. You've got so much upside and potential. What is the vision you have for yourself in the WNBA?
Well, I want to be myself. You know, I want to keep continue to grow up. I know that I'm younger. I'm only 19 years old. I'm going to be in the W being only 20 years old. But I know that I'm mature. I'm going to take responsibility. I want to do my best. And after, I want to learn about these players in the W.
Welcome. Can't wait to watch you play.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Holly. Thank you, Awa Famtiam. Going to the Seattle Storm at number 3. And next up, Washington Mystics. They are picking 4th overall tonight. They also have 3 first-round picks tonight after they had 3 last year. They have a treasure trove of upcoming picks as well. This is a team that is really built to continue to build upon who they selected last year.
It certainly feels like last year they had a vision of what the next few years would bring, not only in terms of their draft picks, but how quality these draft classes are. And you see the graphic right there of what they have had last year, this year, and then the upcoming years as well. And talking to their coach, Sidney Johnson, earlier this week, he said, we are ascending. We have a young, vibrant collection of talented players, and that is certainly the case.
And you think about the players that they chose in the draft last year, especially their first round picks. We were blown away with what Washington was able to do. We finished that draft thinking Washington won the draft in terms of building for the future. Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen, Georgia Amore, and now a multitude of picks in this draft and a ton of talent to choose from. They could go in so many different directions. You still have Lauren Betts on the floor. You have multiple point guards out there on the floor waiting to hear their name called. So a lot of directions for Washington to go.
All right, who will Washington add to their young core? Had 2 rookie All-Stars a season ago. First time a team did that since 1999. Back to the podium, and Kathy Engelbert.
With the 4th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Lauren Betts, UCLA.
Well, a pretty great year for Lauren Betts. Just keeps getting better. You see the hugs from her family, the reaction from her national champion winning head coach. The celebration for Lauren Betts, who has so many of her teammates here. And after just an incredible NCAA tournament where her already high stock just continued to rise, Lauren Betts is headed to Washington with the 4th overall pick.
Lauren Betts is virtually unstoppable in the paint, but she's effective also as both an off-ball and on-ball screener. shot blocker inside on the defensive end of the floor, but also showed that she can switch and handle players out on the perimeter. And yes, Ryan, a ridiculous performance from her all throughout the course of the NCAA tournament.
I love that you mentioned her setting ball screens and off-ball screens, because a lot of times watching UCLA play, her willingness to set a good screen is what set up her seal on the inside, that level of unselfishness that Lauren Betts played with. And I love that we showed the highlights because she dominates in the paint, but a lot of those plays started outside the paint. She showed so much more mobility this season, which will certainly take her to the next level.
Set a program record, too, for most points in a single tournament, as Holly Rowe is with Lauren Betts.
Well, Lauren, they're just talking about how you have adapted and evolved this season, and we could see it on and off the court. You have changed. What changed about you that's made you such a great pick right now in the W?
I feel like I just play with joy. This season has been so special. I've enjoyed every second. I'm playing with my best friends, my sister. I've had the most amazing season, and I feel like you can just see all the positivity that I play with.
It really does show. It's also unique because you've got your table stood up, and I thought maybe they would block the entire room. Dad, Mom, everybody's tall over there. We are so intrigued. I want to see you and Kiki Iriafen together. Like, how fun is this? You've played against her a lot, right?
Yes, that's my girl, that's my sister, and also, I don't know if you guys know, but my coach is on the team as well, so that's pretty interesting.
Right, Michaela Onwede, where are you? Onwede, Michaela. Okay, your coach at UCLA, assistant coach for a national championship team, she just signed a contract with Washington. So will you have to listen to her?
I'm still going to call her Coach Mick just to get on her nerves.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is so unique. Before I let you get out of here, your journey has been vast. You ended with the national championship, and now 8 days later, the #4 pick. How would you describe this beautiful journey you've been on in life, Lauren?
It's been amazing. I've grown so much, my confidence. I feel like I've just finally owned who I am as a person, as a player, and I'm just ready to see what the future holds. I'm really excited.
Thank you. Can't wait.
All right, Holly, congratulations to Lauren. Thanks so much. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky now on the clock with the #5 overall pick. They have had a completely revamped roster through the offseason thus far.
Yeah, opposite of the two previous teams we were talking about who look like they're in rebuild mode and building through the draft, Chicago brought in a bevy of veterans and players with experience looking like they are trying to be in win now mode.
Yeah, it also looks like Chicago wants to play fast. Think about the players that they brought in: Rakia Jackson, Dejanay Carrington, JC Sheldon, Skylar Diggins, speed on top of speed. Again, a ton of options for Chicago to go in this draft, but to me, it looks like Tyler Marsh wants to play fast.
All right, we'll figure out who the #5 overall pick is right now. Back to the podium to learn the selection for the Chicago Sky. Here's the commissioner.
With the 5th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Gabriela Jaquez, UCLA.
Well, Corey Close's hands might be sore by the end of the night with all that clapping. She's got a lot of players who are going to go this evening. And Gabriela Jaquez, there may not be a player in the draft whose stock rose more through the performance in the tournament. We all saw what she did in the national championship game, and now she joins the Chicago Sky with a roster that is ready to now compete for a postseason spot. And we have seen Jaquez's ability to affect winning. We just saw it on college's biggest stage, and now we'll get to see it in the pros.
You're right, Ryan. Gabriela Jaquez was the hustle, heart, and energy for the national championship winning UCLA Bruins. She was the ultimate glue player, and I mean that in the best way, because she could hurt her opponents in so many different ways depending on what the game calls for. Knocking down spot-up shots, active on-the-ball defense, transition, getting into the paint, layups, finishes around the rim. Offense offensive rebounding. We saw her impact the game in so many ways on their run to the title.
The thing that was so impressive to me is this young woman has a non-stop motor, not only running the floor, but in the court, attacking the glass. The efficiency with which she plays, 50, 35, 85 performer. This is a young woman who is ready to contribute right away, also fills the need at wing for Chicago.
Well, it's time for tonight's assist, brought to you by State Farm. Gabriela Jaquez comes from a family of athletes. Grandfather Ezekiel played basketball at Northern Arizona. Parents, Jaime Sr. and Angela, played for Concordia University. And then 3 siblings, Jaime, younger brother Marcos, who's a defensive lineman at Ventura College. Of course, Jaime is with the Miami Heat, and now Gabriela has been drafted by the Chicago Sky, 5th overall, and she is with Holly Rowe.
Gabriela, you weren't as highly recruited as many of the women sitting in this room, and you had to fight for everything. Now you're one of the winningest players in history at UCLA, a national champion, and now a top 10 draft pick. How have you built yourself into this type of player?
Thank you so much. I'm just so excited to be here. So exciting. I think that just having these dreams of going to UCLA and to be in the WNBA and to just achieve them, not only just myself, but with my teammates, just really means everything.
One of your coaches, your strength and conditioning coach, told us at the Final Four that you were putting out the output on your GPS of 2 players on the court. You have so much energy. Some of your stats and what you do don't always show up on the stat sheet. How will you bring that energy and enthusiasm and really game impact to Chicago?
Yeah, for me, just going into every game, doing whatever the team needs. And, you know, every game is going to be different, but if I'm working hard and putting in all the effort, I'm just happy to do that.
You know, they have lost a few players to free agency. There's playing time to be had. How are you going to earn that spot right now?
I think just going into training camp, just excited, ready to learn, being a sponge, listening to the vets and the coaches, taking their advice, and just being myself and working hard.
All right, being yourself has been pretty darn good, young lady. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Gabriela Jaquez. And yeah, brother Jaime getting ready for a playing game tomorrow with the Miami Heat, but FaceTiming in to see little sis become a pro. The Toronto Tempo, welcome to the W. They are on the clock. The 6th pick is coming from the 6th, next on ESPN. Ready for the 6th pick of the 2026 WNBA draft, and we have expansion teams. Last year got the Golden State Valkyries. This year welcome in Toronto Tempo, Portland Fire. Last year the Valkyries became the first expansion team to ever reach the playoffs in the W. You see the head coach hirings this year for Toronto and for Portland. Upcoming expansion, Cleveland in 2028, Detroit in 2029, and then Philly in 2030 as this league continues to grow. You know, hey, Toronto, lovely in the summer. I mean, a terrific place to go in the summer.
I've never been. I got to go.
Well, you're going to go this year.
Spectacular.
It's spectacular.
Okay.
The Tempo, we know this, the whole country is going to embrace the team. Just how about the makeup of the roster right now as they've gone through the expansion draft and free agency, at least up until this point?
Sandy Brondello has said, you know, they're not going to be contending for a championship this year. No expansion team is in their first year. They're trying to build a strong foundation and a winning culture. She's certainly loaded up on shooters when you look at the roster they've put together right now and think a need for them could be at a big spot.
I like that you mentioned culture, because you talked about the Golden State Valkyries, and they had more success than anyone anticipated, and they had an excellent culture where all of the players bought in to what they were trying to do at Golden State. Certainly Toronto and Portland will try to do the same thing. When I think of culture, there are so many players available, but we talked a lot about UCLA and their culture and how they just won Dugalich, Raven Johnson, Flau'jae Johnson. So many options here for Toronto to choose from.
All right, the first pick in the history of the Toronto Tempo is in. Let's send things to the podium to find out who is going number 6 overall.
With the 6th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft and their first ever pick, the Toronto Tempo select Kiki Rice, UCLA.
How about 3 straight UCLA Bruins in this first round as Corey Close has another headed to the W. Kiki Rice, who had such a composed, poised, effective season and tournament run, helping guide UCLA to a national championship. She will try and help guide the Toronto Tempo through their early days in the WNBA.
Drea, you talked about building culture and winning culture. Kiki Rice certainly brings that kind of experience at 5'11", a guard with size who can keep her own player in front of her, but also switch on to bigs. She finishes at the rim, gets to the free throw line, 39% from 3 this past season. Very good getting to her pull-up as well, but more than anything, brings that winning mentality.
Career highs in points per game, rebounds per game, field goal percentage, three-point field goal percentage. But I talked about UCLA's culture. Rebecca, you just mentioned it. Kiki Rice is really the culture setter. She's someone that players wanted to transfer to UCLA to play with. And when you talk about an expansion team and a team that is building, Kiki Rice is certainly a great piece because she's someone people want to play with.
Just the second time in WNBA history, 3 straight picks have come from the same school. Happened in 2016 with UConn, and now tonight with UCLA. And Kiki is with Holly.
Back-to-back Bruins. What's going through your mind when you and your teammates are all getting drafted so high, Kiki?
This is so special. I mean, every one of us here deserves it so much, and I'm just so proud of this group because we put in so much work over the course of these past few years, and this is such a special moment.
You know, you've made history tonight, the Toronto Tempo, a new team. It's kind of fitting. Your aunt was an ambassador to the UN, so international family and some vibes you can rely on there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, never been to Toronto, but really excited to get there. My uncle's Canadian, have some family living there, and I know it's going to be a great time.
We were talking earlier about what has been impactful for you this season as you see your teammates getting drafted, and it's that you were able to adapt your game to make all of them better. How will that translate to the WNBA?
Yeah, I mean, I take a ton of pride in just being the best teammate and figuring out how can I make everyone else better around me, how can I elevate the play of our team. And I think this year we had such a selfless group, and we did that at a really high level all around, and it was just fantastic to play on that team because we were all so selfless.
How can you be a foundational piece to a new franchise, Kiki? It's a lot of pressure, but very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, look, just really excited to get out there, get to work, get to meet everyone on the team, and I think it's going to be really important to have great leadership. I'll learn from the vets, and you know, there's a ton of great people, really experienced people in the organization. So, yeah.
Okay, history tonight. Thank you, Kiki.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kiki. Thank you, Hal. How about the Portland Fire about to make their first selection in their franchise's history, as they are in the W, one of the 2 expansion teams, Golden State last year. This year we get Toronto and Portland. Portland has already taken Bridget Carleton from Canada, right?
Another great city, by the way.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah, Powell's bookstore, you got to go.
I have been to that one. I have been.
You've been to Powell's or just Portland?
Just Portland. I haven't been to Powell's.
You'll get to Powell's.
I'm adding to my list.
Yes. All right. How about their projected roster thus far? We talked about Carleton, who was taken in the expansion draft, the Canadian going to Portland. How about the rest of how things lay out right now for Portland?
Well, this is a Portland team. They want to play an up-tempo style, aggressive defensively, need another point guard. To me, Raven Johnson could be a perfect fit in this pick.
Especially when you mention defense. I mean, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. We saw her defending 1 through 4. I mean, in the national championship run, as they went in the Final Four, she's defending Sarah Strong, a big. So her defensive versatility, her poise that she plays with, her leadership. Again, when we talk about an expansion team, a culture piece. Dawn Staley told us this season, no offense to the rest of the South Carolina Gamecocks at all, but she said, I will miss Raven the most.
All right, so you both feel like it could be Raven here. We're going to find out right now. Let's go to the podium and figure out who the Portland Fire have selected 7th overall.
With the 7th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, and their first ever pick, the Portland Fire select Iana Martín Carrión from Spain.
Well, you guys talked about going point guard. We've also talked about the Team USA players responding to different players they saw on the floor. A lot of them felt like Ayana Martin was terrific after going up against her in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, certainly the lefty point guard is a very good passer, crafty. She plays hard, gets to the rim, crashes the glass. She has a decent shot from three as well. Keep in mind, she's only 20 years old. Don't know if she's going to come over and play this year, but a bright future for this young woman.
Yeah, she averaged 10 points, 4 assists on 51% from the field, 43% from three in that 2026 World Cup that you mentioned, Ryan. To me, we talked about defense. Rebecca, you said Portland wanting to play defense. Watching her long wingspan, active on the ball defender. She got a lot of deflections on the ball to get out in transition.
All right, so Martine gone. How about the best available players in the building? A lot of talent there. We've talked about this. This is such a deep draft. You look across and you see quality starters, quality rotation players well into the second round, and you see so many bright young players there who are still available as Golden State is on the clock now. And we know the Valkyries looking to build upon what Natalie Nakase, the Valkyrie front office, was able to do a year ago, becoming the first expansion team to go to the playoffs.
Well, certainly Golden State became the blueprint for what an expansion team can be. Not only did they make the playoffs, the first expansion team to ever do that, but to sell out every single one of your home games, make it a free agent destination after just 1 year. They have set the blueprint for what an expansion team can be.
They also set the blueprint for how they want to play in terms of putting up three-pointers. I mean, they didn't shoot a very high percentage from beyond the arc, but they certainly put up the most three-pointers in the league. That is a part of their game plan, their offensive attack. Interesting that they added Gabby Williams, so another huge piece for Golden State, and now they get another one.
All right, we're going to find out who it is. The 8th pick is in. Back to the podium to find out who is headed to the Bay to join the Valkyries. Here's the commissioner, Kathy Engelberg.
With the 8th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Flau'jae Johnson from LSU.
Flau'jae's mom and brothers here supporting her. Her coach, Kim Mulkey. Flau'jae gets to stay in purple. She's headed to the Valkyries. And what a selection. We have seen how dynamic Flau'jae Johnson can be on the floor playing for LSU, and now gets to go to the Bay, where you know those sold-out crowds are going to love watching Flau'jae Johnson do her thing for the Valkyries as she goes 8th overall tonight to Golden State.
Golden State, a team that defense was their identity. They played at a fast pace. As you said, Drea, it took a lot of threes. Well, Flau'jae Johnson is ready to play defense at the next level. She is ready to push pace, excels when she gets out in transition. Shot a career-high 39% from the three-point line this year. Certainly feels like she can fit in seamlessly with what the Valkyries are trying to do.
I mean, Flau'jae is just an incredible athlete, and you talk about someone that can get into her own bag, create her own shot from beyond the arc and in the mid-range, and then paint touches leading to kickouts. Certainly something that would be so helpful for this Valkyries team, a true special talent in multiple ways.
And Holly is standing by with Flau'jae.
Flau'jae, you have performed on many stages before. I find it fascinating that you're taking deep breaths. This stage is different for you tonight. Why?
I mean, man, when I was in high school, I wasn't ranked. You know, it took a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and now I'm here at the draft. Like, this is incredible to me.
I remember sitting down with you when you were a freshman, 18 years old, and you said, I'm going to get drafted high, I'm going to win a Grammy, I'm going to start my own record label, and you're on your way to doing all of that. What is the next vision for you, Flau'jae?
Just keep checking those things off the list. I just got drafted. And now it's time for that Grammy, but first I'm ready to come in, I'm ready to work, and I'm ready to get to it.
I know your work ethic is unprecedented. A young woman from Savannah, you wanted to shout out your hometown. Why?
Oh, man, I'm the first ever WNBA draft pick from Savannah, Georgia, so this means so much to me.
See your brothers standing up. Your mom has poured so much into you. Your family is truly special and unique, Flau'jae. How do you describe what they have poured into you to be building for? Oh, look, okay, flex for me now. Come on. I really wanted to bring him up for the interview, but I didn't know if your mom would allow me. Come on over. Come on over. He's okay.
Come on, Aiden, come on.
Get over here.
Aiden, come on.
Come on, Aiden. Come on. Your family needs to share this moment with you, Flau'jae. I know especially your mom has been there for you for so many beautiful things. Tell me what they've meant to you.
It meant everything to me. For me, it's just being somebody that they can look up to, being somebody that they're proud to call their sister, somebody that can show them that they can do anything they want to. Be confident and walk in this world like you deserve to be there.
Everything you ever told me, I believe will happen. She's dropping a new single about the draft. When's it coming out?
Oh, it's dropping soon, but yeah, y'all just heard it when I walked across the stage. Y'all go check out Whoa.
We are definitely having a whoa moment. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. Come on, boss.
Good? Did you do good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Hal. Well, we've already had our most adorable moment of the night. You see Flau'jae's mother celebrating. We've seen some terrific tuxes from the young men at Flau'jae's table. Next up, we're going to get pick 9 from Washington and then the Indiana Fever on the clock. Who will join Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and Kelsey Mitchell? That's next. With WNBA League Pass, you can press play on the WNBA, scan the QR code to stream live games from across the league. For $39.99 for the year, eligible students can get an exclusive 40% off student discount. Well, Washington has already picked once tonight, selecting Lauren Betts at number 4 overall. Who will join her with the 9th pick? That pick is in. As we head back to the podium, and we'll learn the selection now from the commissioner.
With the 9th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Angela Dugalich from UCLA.
A 4th UCLA player taken in this first round that has tied a WNBA record, matching UConn back in 2002. And Angela Dugalich is going to go join Lauren Betts in Washington. Dugalich, as Corey Close told us throughout the tournament, a matchup nightmare for opponents. We saw that play out, and now she takes those talents to Washington and that really impressive young core the Mystics have.
I was so impressed, Ryan, with Angela Dugalich. First of all, not just in the national championship run, but the fact that before the season, a couple games in, she told her coaches that she would be willing to come off of the bench, sacrifice a starting spot, and still thrive. She brings skill, toughness, and versatility on both ends of the floor. She's got great size, high IQ on offense, and her length on the defensive end, plus a high IQ, help her make plays. She is so fun to watch.
Yeah, Dre is certainly a pro-ready frame at 6'4", not afraid to use it, as you said, can defend on the perimeter or in the paint. Most importantly, perhaps for Washington, she is a solid three-point shooter. When I asked Sydney Johnson what their needs were for this draft, he said, shooting, shooting, and more shooting. She can bring them some of that.
And she also helps bring some history for UCLA. You see that collection of stars in 2002 from UConn, the only time we've had 4 players from one school taken in the first round until tonight, as Angela Dugalich is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Angela, as we're watching you perform in the Final Four, win a national championship, I kept thinking in my mind, this is one of the most pro-ready athletes we have in the WNBA draft. How has your work with the Serbian national team and your work in Europe and your body of work prepared you to be pro-ready?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super grateful for just the opportunity to play overseas with my national team. I think it's just been a blessing to prepare me for the league as well.
You've got some other Bruins on that roster now. What does that mean to you that you very well know how to play with and alongside Lauren Betts? How does that help moving to a new team?
Yeah, that's going to be great. I'm super excited for that. Obviously, I feel like it might be, or probably will be, a smooth transition just playing with her and even getting some practice reps with Michaela as well.
I love this so much. Last question, your family's here. What do you want to say to your family?
Thank you. Hvala. Znači, ovdje ne bi bila bez vas I mnogo sam ponosna I zahvalna za vas. Volim vas do Boga.
Beautiful. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Angela. Thank you, Holly. Now the Indiana Fever on the clock with their first pick of the night, 10th overall. We'll recap last season for them. Caitlin Clark dealt with a lot of injuries. The Fever managed to stay afloat while she was out. Aaliyah Boston, an incredible season. Career highs in points per game, assists per game. We know Kelsey Mitchell, her historic year, set a franchise record for points per game with 20.2. And now Caitlin back healthy, joining Aaliyah, joining Kelsey Mitchell. This is a team that has made some shrewd moves in free agency. They felt like title contenders last year. They pushed things towards a 5th game, overtime in the semifinals, even with Caitlin out. Feels like they are a title contender going into this year.
Think about it. They were a title contender at the end of last year, dealing with a multitude of injuries, including to Caitlin Clark. So they should be a title contender this year. They bring in Monique Billings. They bring in Maisha Hines-Allen, another huge addition for them at the 4 spot. I think this team, outside even of their big 3, is certainly built to have a monster year this year.
I was so impressed by Indiana and the run that they went on, despite the multitude of injuries that you mentioned and so many players available that they could choose from. I think about Aaliyah Boston being on that list. I think about the relationship she has with Raven Johnson, who's sitting here waiting to hear her name called. Again, Indiana, such a solid roster, so we'll see what they do with it.
All right, we'll figure out who is headed to the Fever. The pick is in. We find out the 10th selection right now from the commissioner.
With the 10th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Raven Johnson from the University of South Carolina.
Well, Raven Johnson, after an incredible All-American season as a senior, the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. We saw her game just grow and grow throughout her career. Head coach Dawn Staley ready to celebrate the player who she has said she will miss most of all. And there have been some incredible ones who have come through that program. And Raven Johnson headed to the Indiana Fever and reunited with Aaliyah Boston, a couple of Gamecocks back there in Indiana, as Raven Johnson goes 10th overall tonight.
Raven Johnson, perhaps the player whose stock rose more than any other over the course of this past season. She's always been a lockdown defender. This year, she also showed she can switch onto bigs and contain them. She's improved offensively, especially from the three-point line, shooting 40% from there, a career high. And then we saw her confidence grow throughout the season, comfortable being a go-to in late-game situations.
Raven Johnson is a winner. She's a poised leader. You said it. Excellent defender at a multitude of positions. She's fearless if she switches onto a big. She has an incredibly long wingspan. And again, the poise that she plays with. I mean, she is the ultimate culture piece going to a great Indiana team.
Well, you talk about winning. How about that record? At Westlake in high school and now at South Carolina, that's a lot of winning, heading to a team that's looking to win now, and Raven is with Holly.
Well, Raven, you bet on yourself this year. You came back to South Carolina and really transformed the type of player you were. You literally could do everything you wanted. How did you make that decision, and how has it paid off walking across this stage now tonight?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, my heart is beating right now. It's beating so fast. But, you know, you dream of moments like this as a little girl. I mean, you watch people before you that get drafted, and just to hear my name called, it's a blessing, honestly.
Every time I watch you play, it brings me joy. You are a joyful person. I've watched you pour into your teammates. You bring joy to every group that you are around. How can you infuse some Ravenness into the Indiana Fever?
Yeah, my personality overall. I mean, I'm a loving, caring person. I care about my teammates, but at the end of the day, I want to win.
Winning is something you've done well. They were just showing your record. Raven, what will it take to step onto the floor? You get to be reunited with Aaliyah Boston, someone you fed a lot of passes to in your career. How can you win right away there?
I mean, just listen to the vets, listen to the people that's already on the team, and just bring what I do.
What you do has always been brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Raven. Thank you, Ollie. Here are the best available players. A lot of talent still on the board here in New York, and the 11th pick of the draft, the third of the first round for the Washington Mystics, is in. We get it right now. Going back to the podium and learning the 11th overall section, a selection from the commissioner.
With the 11th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Cody McMahon from Ole Miss.
Cody McMahon, who had a terrific start to her career at Ohio State and then heads to Ole Miss, wins SEC Newcomer of the Year, first team All-Conference, set career highs in points and assists, and we know is incredibly talented as she gets a big hug from Coach Yo. Most points in a single season by an Ole Miss player since the 85-86 season. And Cody joins, again, that young talent that Washington has selected over these last two drafts with this, their sixth first-round selection in the last 2 years.
And Cody McMahon is different from any other player on the Washington Mystics roster this past year, used as a facilitator. Her size and frame remind me of Alyssa Thomas, especially with the way she can bring the ball down the floor. Certainly a pro-ready body, gets downhill, bulldozing her way to the basket, averaged 21 points a game in SEC play.
She had 8 20-point games against AP-ranked opponents. She elevated her play when the competition got tough. I love that you mentioned Alyssa Thomas. She told us that is her favorite player, elevated her game in conference play. She's so physical, she's so tough, and sometimes she gets so hot it's like she cannot be stopped. We saw her put up big-time numbers this season.
We're going to be surrounded by some big-time talent in Washington as we send things over to Holly with Cody.
Well, they are raving about your ability to score this season, but Cody, it took something for you to get back to being who you are this year. How did you find that again in yourself?
Yeah, honestly, it just took me to buy into Coach Yo's system and her believing in me and, you know, her letting me know that she's going to push me, but I just have to be ready for it and just be willing to take the role that she's given me.
When we watch you play, there is a determination. You get yours, you get where you want to go on the court. How will that translate to Washington?
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win, whether that be with the ball in my hands or not. I feel like I'm really ready to take on any role.
They say you're hard to guard. Why?
Honestly, I think it's just my competitive nature, the edge. I feel like anyone in front of me can't stop me.
Can't wait to see what you do. Washington, Cody McMahon, you're going to love her.
All right, Al, Cody, thank you very much. How about Tina Thompson, the first ever pick in the WNBA? She will join the show next.
The first pick in the 1997 WNBA draft, the Houston Comets select Tina Thompson from the University of Southern California. Tina, come on down.
Welcome back to the 2026 draft. We want to look back in this special year, 30-year anniversary for the WNBA this season, and we would not be where we are if it wasn't for players like this. Tina Thompson, it seems crazy that that was so long ago, but what do you remember about that epic night, the very first ever pick in the WNBA?
I remember that my draft was nothing like this. Not even close. We were in NBA studios in Secaucus, and there actually wasn't a process. We had not even got WNBA jerseys printed yet, so I was holding up a practice jersey. So this is a little bit better.
You know, I love it. This is what people like you, people like the Houston Comets back in the day have built. We saw in the new CBA, they are taking care of veterans, the women who built this league to be so special. How important is that we remember the women who came before?
Well, I just think NECA and Alicia and that group just did a great job in being the executive committee and just standing strong and fighting. I think it's really important that we continue as a league to push forward on both sides, the union as well as the WNBA. Of course, it's going to be a little battle, but as long as negotiations at the end are fair and they're forward moving, the foundation of the WNBA is solid.
Well, it is solid because of you, young lady, and it is a pleasure to stand on this stage with you. It's a bigger stage, but it was never brighter than when you were playing. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Holly. You're the best.
Beautifully said, Hall, as we move to the Connecticut Sun, the 12th overall pick. We know pending the approval from the WNBA Board of Governors. Yeah, I wasn't going to forget to say that. They are going to move to Houston next year, but this year in Connecticut, you know, this is a team obviously rebuilding, kind of your overarching look at them as they move forward.
Yeah, this is year 2 of a rebuild for the Connecticut Sun. They laid a nice young foundation a season ago. They want to stay young and talented while also trying to compete to the best of their ability.
Yeah, I think this is a Connecticut team that struggled three-point shooting last season. That could certainly be an area that they look to add with this draft, again, in their rebuild, so a lot of directions that they could go.
All right, let's find out who the Sun will select with number 12 overall as we wind towards the end of this first round. Back to the podium we go, and Kathy Engelbert has the pick.
With the 12th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun select Nell Angloma from France.
This is another one of those players when you talk to different people who have played against her in different FIBA competitions, very impressed with what Nell can bring to the table. Leads her team in scoring in France, and now going to join a Connecticut team where she's going to get an opportunity to play, to show off those skills, a rebuilding team where you're going to get your minutes. And so Nell will get that opportunity with the Sun this season.
Connecticut wanted to stay young and talented. Well, Nell is 20 years old, so they got younger and more talented. She's an athletic wing who excels getting to the basket, has a nice burst going downhill, finishes at the rim with both hands. Physique and game, actually, Drea, remind me a little of South Carolina sophomore Joyce Edwards. They're about the same age. Her area of growth will just be improving her shooting out to the three-point line, but puts a ton of pressure on the rim.
I just got so excited when you said Joyce Edwards because that's exactly who came to mind when I was watching her. The way that she moves and carries herself, can glide across the court. She is a tough, physical driver who attacks the rim hard. She likes the spin move to get to the rim or create space for a close mid-range jump shot. She gets on the hips of defenders so well. Certainly will be helpful in the WNBA.
And Nell is with Holly Rowe.
Bienvenue à WNBA.
Merci.
Merci. Qu'est-ce que tu penses quand tu appelles ton nom à ce moment?
Thank you. I'm feel really excited and a little bit nervous, but I'm really grateful to be here with my family, with Sébastien too. And yes, I'm just feel blessed. Yes.
Sa mère et ton père, qu'est-ce que tu vous dis à them?
Thank you, because they push me every day, every time, and they believe on me, and I'm so happy to prompt them.
To make from them.
Bring them.
Ah yes, to make bread them, yes.
Yes. Qu'est-ce que tu veux parler à les fans à Connecticut? Tu es quel type de joueur?
I would say I'm a competitor first, and yes, I'm just excited to meet all of them, and I do my best every time for help my team, and yes, I'm just excited to meet them for show them who I am.
Félicitations. Merci.
Thank you.
It's always a special night when Holly Rowe breaks out the French. Here we go. The Atlanta Dream are on the clock, and they've already had a very busy offseason acquiring Angel Reese after she averaged double-doubles each of her first 2 seasons, traded from Chicago. This is an Atlanta team that had a really strong regular season last year, first year under Carl Smesco as head coach. They have a terrific young guard duo with Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray. It's going to be interesting to see where Atlanta goes here.
I'm just smiling really hard because it's no secret. I'm from Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. When I heard this news, I was so excited. People have already talked to me in the city about Angel Reese. I mean, we saw the season tickets just skyrocket because of Angel Reese and her presence and what she brings on the floor. And Atlanta's ability to get Angel Reese and keep the majority of their team. I mean, this is a team that was in the playoffs. I think Angel Reese fits. We saw her be like a point forward at times and distribute the ball. Now she's got different pieces around her. To me, I was so excited about this.
Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard don't miss very much, but when they do, go get an Angel Reese.
That's right. All right, we're going to figure out who the Atlanta Dream have selected with the 12th overall pick. Right back to the podium we go. The commissioner has the selection.
With the 13th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Atlanta Dream select Medina Okot, University of South Carolina.
Well, Medina Okot, an excellent season at South Carolina this year. This is a young woman who hasn't been playing basketball that long and already makes such an impact on the floor. Heads to Atlanta with the 13th pick here. We also saw as the season went along the way her game expanded, the comfort she had shooting from 3, the accuracy with which she shot it, the incredible hands. And now Medina Okot goes to an Atlanta Dream team where she is going to be surrounded by some prime talent.
You mentioned it, Ryan. Medina Okot being relatively new to the game of basketball. Didn't pick up a basketball until 2019. And already the skill that she has shown, the understanding of the game, she is a walking double-double. Again, new to basketball, but with a very high ceiling. 54 blocks this season, 5th most in the SEC. She is mobile. She showed the ability to knock down threes, which is huge at this level, can put the ball on the floor, and an excellent rebounding presence.
And how is she going to fit into Carl Smesco's system in Atlanta? Well, remember, he had 6'9" Brittany Griner on the roster a year ago, and Okot has even more of a face-up game. Yep. She's more comfortable at times facing the basket than she even is with her back to the basket. Only 29 attempts from 3 on the season, but shot 45% from 3. That's a ridiculous number for a 6'6" big.
All right, that 6'6" big is with our 5'4" small, Holly Rowe.
Well, Medina, you have just started playing basketball 6 years ago, and here you are getting drafted. How do you describe this journey for you in basketball?
I honestly didn't see myself being here today. 6 years ago, I had to act like I was behind, and I had to be obsessed with details, putting in extra work, and just being able to ask questions and learn from experienced players that were around me.
You have been. I know Coach Staley appreciates how obsessed with the details you were. I know your family is home in Kenya watching tonight. What do you want to say to your family in Mumias, Kenya?
Thank you so much for believing in me. I appreciate every sacrifice, prayers that got me here. And I just want to let them know that this is not just for me. This is for all of us. And
I'm carrying our flag to the next level with pride. I hope this helps them see that we belong to any stage.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The flag is here in the audience. Wave it with pride. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, beautifully said, Medina. Thank you, Holly. Meanwhile, the Seattle Storm, they've already picked in this first round. Their second selection of the first round is in. Back to the commissioner we go with the 14th overall pick in tonight's draft.
With the 14th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Taina Mayer from Duke University.
This is a player who, Rebecca, I know we saw her several times throughout the season, and every time we'd walk away saying she's going to be a really good pro.
Saying the same thing Kara Lawson did, describing her this season at rock solid and a great competitor. She excelled in the pick and roll game, in particular against UCLA, where she was consistently hitting pull-up jumper after pull-up jumper. A very good rebounding guard, 6 per game, facilitates as well. 5.5 assists a game this past year.
Taina Mayer had an excellent finish to the season as well. Final 2 games, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals against LSU. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals against UCLA in the loss, with the ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor. First Duke player since Chelsea Gray to average 10, 5, and 5 in a season. I've been very impressed by Taina Mayer's game. ACC tournament MVP as well.
All right, here's who's best available according to our draft board. Drea, anybody here who especially stands out to you right now?
Well, when I think about scoring, I immediately think about Tanaya Latson. When I think about shooting, Gianna Neepkins, toughness, Marta Suarez. You have athleticism, Tiani Key, decision-making, Ashlyn Jackson, versatility, Janiyah Barker. They all bring something different and unique when it comes to their best skill that they're taking to the next level.
And if you're looking specifically for the Connecticut Sun, you think that it might be Tanaya Latson, because they could use another combo guard, somebody who can get downhill, somebody who can score from the perimeter as well.
And one of the things that impressed us so much about Tanaya Latson this season was her ability to play make, her ability to defend. We knew she could score at Florida State. She obviously still can. But as so often we see players who go and learn under Dawn Staley and her staff, the game grows. They become more pro-ready. We saw that with Tanaya. Whoever gets her tonight is going to be thrilled. The final pick of the first round is in. Let's figure out who the 15th selection is. The Connecticut Sun making their second pick of the night. And back to Kathy Engelbert we go.
With the 15th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun select Gianna Neepkins from UCLA.
Well, Corey Close has been on her feet a record 5 times in this first round, as Gianna Neepkins becomes the 5th UCLA player to be selected in the first round tonight. That is a new WNBA record for most first-round selections from a single school. And Gianna Neepkins, the Utah transfer, went to UCLA, brought so much shooting, toughness, helping guide them to a national championship, is taken with the final selection of this opening round tonight.
Connecticut Sun needed a shooter, and they certainly got one in Gianna Neepkins. She is ridiculously efficient, close to 50, 40, 90 this past season. 43% from 3 in her career. She has an interesting style to her offensive game, doesn't necessarily blow by defenders, but will always get a shot off. Solid in the pick and roll game, really good setting off ball screens. She can be an asset immediately.
And we talked about players going somewhere to grow and expand their game. Gianna Neepkins talked to us about going to UCLA, yes, to bring her three-point shooting. Of course she brings that, but to become a better defender. She felt like she grew in that way. She catches the ball low and shot ready, which allows her to get the ball off quickly, but also allows her to put it on the floor into a mid-range jump shot the scoring ability of Gianna Neepkins, immediately impactful. Coach Corey Close said she's our Luka. That's a pretty good comparison.
Well, Mom, Elizabeth, Dad, Donald, certainly proud tonight. Gianna Neepkins is a first-round selection, the 5th UCLA player taken. She's with Holly.
Well, Gianna, it's never happened before in WNBA draft history, 5 players from one school going in the first round. You're the new one of this bunch. What did you think when you heard your name called as the final first-round pick?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you don't even know what to think because it's just so much, but I just feel incredibly blessed to be part of the UCLA Bruins and now be part of the Connecticut Sun.
Your skills translate at such a high level to the W. You are one of the best shooters I've ever seen from the perimeter. I know you're the youngest of 5, 6, and 5 older brothers. Who taught you to shoot?
Not any of them, but no, they are the best in the whole world. They support me down. They're all here tonight, so I love them and I'm just so thankful for them.
Best shooter in the family, you heard it here. Congratulations. And the last thing I'll say is the UCLA parents, you're giving me life. Every single person that's been drafted, it's like a big group hug with the parents. Shout out to all the parents. Stand up and take a bow, family. Thank you, Gianna.
Well, thank you, Holly. Thank you, Gianna. There is the live board. The first round in the books. 5 UCLA Bruins taking a record. The second round is up next.
I just wanna have a good night. I just wanna have a good night. Hold up. If you don't know, now you know. If you broke, then you gotta let him go. You could have anybody, any money, no. Cause when you a boss, you could do what you want. Yeah, cause girls is players too. Yeah, cause girls is players too.
Welcome to the second round of the WNBA Draft 2026, presented by State Street Investment Management SPY. We are at the Shed at Hudson Yards. What a fun, eventful first round, and plenty of reaction throughout the night as the Dallas Wings, they selected Azzi Fudd, first overall. Arike Agumbawale ready to join Azzi. Page in the backcourt. Cheryl Reeve pumped up. The Minnesota Lynx selecting Olivia Miles and the Washington Mystics. Yeah, that's right. The admin doesn't make the picks. They just post about them. We welcome you back to our set. Ryan Rucco with the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, Andrea Carter, having a great time here at the Shed at Hudson Yards. An excellent atmosphere here. We were just talking about it. Really fun first round. And now the Seattle Storm right back on the clock. This is a team that's already made 2 picks tonight. You talked about it earlier, partner, a team that is committed to the rebuild, and a good way to commit to it is having 3 of the first 16 picks.
Yeah, without question, and then focusing on development of their young talent, building players for the future, and they have another opportunity to do that here.
All right, we're going to get that selection right now. Back to the podium we go. The 16th overall pick is in, the first selection of the second round. Here is the commissioner with it.
With the 16th pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft, the Seattle Storm select Marta Suarez, Texas Christian University.
So Marta Suarez, who had a fantastic season at TCU, first team All Big 12, spent time at Tennessee, at Cal, and this year career highs in points, rebounds, three-point percentage, plenty of double-doubles as well, and headed to a Seattle team where she is going to have young talent around her and opportunity as well with one of the real proud franchises of the WNBA, the 4-time champion Storm.
You mentioned the double-doubles, Ryan. She had 12 of them this season. She also had a triple-double in December. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Marta Suarez can impact the game in so many ways. She is a workhorse. She's physical with a high motor, but also very skilled. Mark Campbell said she has pro habits in terms of her routine, recovery, and work ethic. Again, she can score in a variety of ways. She defends with great toughness and can also make plays and find her teammates.
Yeah, at 6'3", she can be a nice stretch four. Shot 37% from three. Solid rebounder. Certainly excelled in TCU's spacing offense. And for a young player, what do you want to do more than anything when you go to the WNBA? Well, win, but also play. And there's going to be opportunity for her to do that in Seattle.
All right, well, Marta is with Holly.
Well, UCLA is having a moment in this draft this year, but Spain is having a moment in this draft this year. Tell me what is important about all this young Spanish talent that are really bringing that excitement to the WNBA?
Well, it's extremely exciting for the game. I think globally, the WNBA, it shows that it has the attention. People want to come here. And it's exciting for us. The U.S. has been on top of basketball for a long time, so we want to be able to give a little competition.
Everybody's wearing the red. Was that intentional?
Not really, but we spicy, we fiery like that.
Okay. I know that you've had to find a little joy in your basketball journey. I know you lost your mom. You had to come back and play after that tragedy. Tell me, how do you look into this crowd? You see your dad and know that you found the joy necessary for this part of your life.
Man, I think you can see it. If you watch me this year, you see me smile. I'm having a great time. I'm just trying to hope, Holly. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be here. I'm extremely thankful for Mark and the opportunity that he's given me. And I'm very excited about tonight as well with my best friends.
I love it. I just want to hoop, Holly. That's the quote of my night. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. Congratulations to Marta joining Diana Mayer as well as Awafam Tiam in Seattle. Now Portland back on the clock, the Portland Fire, who this is a team that obviously when you're an expansion team, you're probably not competing right away when you go there as a draftee, but you are getting playing time. And Rebecca, you pointed it out before. If you're a young player, you get excited when you go to one of those teams where hey, I'm getting minutes right away.
Yeah, without question. And we've talked throughout over the years how it's more important to have fit than it is necessarily to where you go in the draft in terms of first round or second round. And absolutely, if you're a young player who's itching to be on the court, and they all are, you have an opportunity to go to an expansion team that does not have a very full roster yet. It gives you that great opportunity.
All right, well, the commissioner is ready with some news here. So let's go back to the podium for a little breaking news from Kathy Engelberg.
Okay, we have a trade. The Golden State Valkyries trade the rights to Flau'jae Johnson to the Seattle Storm for the rights to Marta Suarez and their 2028 second-round pick.
Wow.
Okay, moving on to the 17th pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft. The Portland Fire select Frida Buhner from Spain.
Frida Buhner, 21-year-old, 6'1" forward with good length. She can get in the paint and finish with some contact. An efficient shooter from three as well. An active scorer, comfortable in the pick and roll. But a nice young player, again, the team can build upon.
Yeah, she can also attack the basket. Likes to quick attack going right off of the catch. She has high hands on the perimeter defensively. That's not easy to do. There's also potential as a playmaker when she puts the ball on the floor to kick out to her guards when she's driving and attacking the basket. You said it, mobile forward. She's got a great wingspan, a good piece for Portland.
All right, so that's the 17th pick. But how about that trade that Kathy Engelberg just announced? A really interesting one. And if you're Seattle, I think you got to be thrilled. You end up with Flau'jae Johnson with the two young bigs you have. Obviously, Dominique Malonga, who they took last year, and now this year with Awafam Tiam. And now they add Flau'jae Johnson in the trade with Martha Suarez and a future second-round pick.
Flau'jae Johnson different from any of the other players they have on their roster in terms of not only being a wing, but the ways in which she plays. She can be a terrific defender. We talked about her ability to hit from three and be a slasher as well. So not redundancy for her at that position. She could go in and make her mark.
Again, and I know when we're talking about this as a rebuild for Seattle, but when you think about a team that lost Gabby Williams, who does a lot of those things, gets into the paint, a tough defender, Flau'jae Johnson can certainly bring all of those things to Seattle.
A new hat for Mom. Yeah, all right. They already changed the lids. Well done. There we go. All right. Well, the commissioner is ready for another pick. Let's send things back to the podium and find out who is headed to the Connecticut Sun.
With the 18th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun select Charlize Ledger-Walker from UCLA.
Well, we've already had some UCLA history tonight. The first program to ever have 5 first-round picks in a single draft. Now we have more history. The first program to ever have 6 draftees in a single draft as Charlize Ledger-Walker goes 18th to the Connecticut Sun. This is a player, Corey Close, talked to us about her leadership, how her teammates would always look to her, the equanimity that she brought to the table for her team. We saw her come through in key moments en route to that national championship, and now she is headed to the WNBA.
When I asked the Connecticut Sun specifically about Charlize Ledger-Walker, the response was, I think she's excellent. You want to go somewhere where they think you're excellent. She showed this past year that she can impact winning with limited field goal attempts, reads pick and roll coverage beautifully, finds open teammates out of it, a 3-level scorer who can keep players in front of her defensively. And I guess when you have this many players going, you're going to end up with one of your college teammates, and she will be reunited with Gianna Neepkins.
I mean, you had to think Connecticut was so happy when they saw Charlize Ledger-Walker still available, knowing they have Gianna Neepkins, knowing they already have this connection. And how many times this season did we see Charlize Ledger-Walker find Gianna Neepkins and kick the ball out to her? She is so fun to talk to and plays with so much joy.
And one of 6 UCLA Bruins drafted tonight, a new record for a single school in a single draft, and Charlize is with Holly.
Well, the 6 seniors are in the league. Everybody here together tonight, but you've made a little history of your own. What is special tonight about New Zealand getting a name called in the WNBA draft?
Yeah, I'm the first from New Zealand to ever be drafted, so it's a big moment.
What does that mean for people in your country, little girls who want to grow up and be just like you?
I think it means a lot, and I'm just really humbled that, you know, I can kind of be that role model, and I just hope that everybody watching from New Zealand just knows that they belong here, and if they, you know, set their sights high, they can, you know, be limitless. So.
You belong here tonight too, and I know that you'll make your mark in the W. How do you do it quickly and get some playing time with that team and earn it?
Yeah, you know, I think it's just going in with an open mind, taking in a lot from the vets and just learning a lot, and then just being, you know, the best teammate I can, and whatever role that is that I need to partake in, then I'm going to do that.
All right, congratulations. We've got history all around. Thank you.
Congrats, Charlize. Hey, our NBA playoffs coverage begin Saturday. The Rockets and the Lakers, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. KD LeBron, good way to get things going in the NBA playoffs for us. Back to the commissioner we go. Guess who's selecting again? Yeah, it's the Washington Mystics. Last year and this year, plenty of them. All right, Commish, what you got for number 19?
With the 19th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Kassan Prosper from the University of Notre Dame.
Many wondered, would Kassan Prosper go back for another season at Notre Dame? Instead, She enters the draft and gets selected early in the second round here to the Washington Mystics. In the building tonight, and Kassan Prosper, the 19th overall selection.
And she's coming off of such a strong season, Ryan. Just under 14 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, just under 2 assists and 2 steals. The ability to impact the game in a multitude of ways. She crashed the offensive glass hard this season, and I felt like watching Notre Dame in the NCAA tournament, her defensive versatility was also on full display.
Certainly brings size, length, versatility, can play the 3 or the 4, can score in a variety of ways. And you said it, Drea, so important at the pro level to be able to have versatility on the defensive end of the floor. She can guard both bigs and smalls.
And Kassan Prosper, one of 4 Mystic selections tonight, and she is with Holly Rowe.
You came ready for your moment. You have believed in yourself, putting your name in the WNBA draft. Where does that deep belief in what you're able to do come from?
Oh my goodness. I think it has to come from my parents, my family. Having my older brother here means everything. They've always installed so much confidence in me. And to be here, you know, have my coaches here, I'm just so proud of myself.
What are you the most proud of?
I think this run, I mean, we had an amazing run in the NCAA tournament, and for me, I'm just so proud of just how much I've persevered and how much I've believed in myself these past 4 years at Notre Dame, and now I just get to move on to the next step, but I'm so excited.
We're happy to have you here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly. Congrats, Kassan. How about UCLA? Yeah, plenty of reasons to dance tonight. 6 draftees, a new record.
As you redefine what's possible, Lexus refines what you deserve. Because a car that doesn't make you feel something is a car that stops short of amazing.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower. The most powerful mower in its class, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Find an Ego retailer near you.
The latest chapter in the history of women's sports, the debut of the WNBA. It's a marquee matchup between Leslie and Lobo as the 2 cornerstone franchises. Here's the tip. Blocked by Lisa Leslie. Oh, is that pretty? 3-pointer for Rebecca Lobo.
Showing a little bit of what we can do. We got a great crowd out here, and it's only going to get better.
Oh, yeah. Drea, I know you were loving the walk-in there from Rebecca.
Young Rebecca. That was the cutest thing I've ever seen. Can we please bring the hat back?
The Kangol, there were no stylists back in 1997. A Kangol, you've never heard of a Kangol?
I think for the 35th anniversary of the draft, you bring the hat back.
Look at that, yes.
And the mean side up.
I love it, just terrific. And the post-game interview as well.
Poor me.
So that was the opening game 30 years ago, and now one of those franchises, the LA Sparks, on the clock right now, about to pick for the first time tonight. This is an LA team that it feels like they've had a very productive offseason thus far.
100% when you talk about bringing in Nneka Ogwumike. I mean, one of the greatest leaders that this league has ever seen. I mean,
saw her here earlier tonight.
The staple in getting this CBA and getting this going for the league and for her team, to me, she's a champion, she's a winner, and she brings so much poise to this LA Sparks roster.
I think that's one of the things that LA did really well in their free agency, both with Nneka and also with Ariel Atkins, is they brought a real calming presence to the locker room alongside Kelsey Plum, who was already there. And now they can also use some of their youth and build on that particular Cameron Brink, their draft pick from a couple of years ago, and then this pick as well.
All right, the commissioner is ready. Back to the podium. The 20th overall pick is in. Who will the LA Sparks take with their first pick tonight?
With the 20th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Tanaya Latson, University of South Carolina.
Well, Tanaya Latson getting huge hugs from her family after an outstanding season at South Carolina. An All-American this year, and just showed so much of her game this season under Dawn Staley and that Gamecock staff. We saw her playmaking, her defense, in addition to the scoring, and now goes to the LA Sparks, where she's going to have, you guys talked about it, the balance on the roster, young talent, but also a lot of terrific vets to learn from out in LA.
LA certainly wanted to look for a perimeter player in this spot. And Tanaya Latson, you said it, Ryan, her junior year at Florida State led the nation in scoring, showed that she could do that. And then her senior year showed that she could blend in seamlessly with a roster loaded with talent, improved defensively, improved in terms of her playmaking for others, remains elite when she gets out in transition, out on the fast break and scoring.
She's a naturally gifted scorer. We saw that for 3 seasons, who wanted to become a more complete player. When I talked to Tanaya Latson earlier this year, she said she wanted to learn lessons that she would probably learn in the W in this season at South Carolina. Rebecca, you said it, in terms of fitting with a team, and she has an excellent team in LA.
And Holly is with Tanaya.
Well, Tanaya, sometimes it's hard to wait and hear your name called, but it's not where you go, it's the place that you go. How can you get in? They need guards in LA. How can you get in and make your name really quickly?
I mean, just bring what I bring to the table. That's getting downhill, being a great teammate, and just being ready to work, being a professional.
Buckets, that's what you get, right? Also, you told me earlier that you have been so great at adapting, whether it was at South Carolina. You're a proud military child, and you've grown up having to adapt to everywhere you've gone. How do you adapt quickly to the league and make your name known?
Yeah, I mean, just listen to my vets, the people that came before me, and just give my best, give my all.
We saw you do that for South Carolina this year. Congratulations, and I can't wait to watch you play in the W.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Tanaya. Congratulations. Thank you, Holly. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky up next with the 21st pick. It is in, and with the 21st pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Latasha Lattimore from Ole Miss. So that is the 21st overall pick, second Ole Miss player we've seen go tonight.
Yeah, she's a really intriguing pick to me. I had a number of front office people tell me they think she is going to be a better pro than she was a college player. Ryan, when you and I watched her during the SEC tournament, 6'4" form at her frame, ability to slash and make threes, reminded us very much of DeWanna Bonner. This young woman could have a really nice upside in the league.
Yeah, she has so much length. You mentioned the SEC tournament. She had 28 points against Vanderbilt in that SEC tournament, but she also has potential to be an excellent defender. Top 10 in blocks and blocks per game. Her length is impactful on both ends of the floor, and you know someone coming from Ole Miss knows the importance of defense.
All right, here are the best available players. Plenty of talent still to come when it comes to who will be selected in this draft, as we are now midway through the second round, and we have the 22nd pick in. With the 22nd pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Toronto Tempo select Tiani Key from the University of Kentucky. So Tiani Key will head to Toronto. You talk about a player who obviously has just pro skills. She's someone who just stands out so brightly when you watch her play.
Yes, certainly. Tiani Key at 6'5" is another player who you think her best days are ahead of her. She's a terrific athlete, very good on the glass, especially on the offensive glass. 11.5 points, 7.5 rebounds a game. 3 of them were on the offensive end of the floor. Rangy athlete, attacks the basket, and can be mobile on both ends of the floor as well.
All right, well, Tiani Key, the 22nd overall pick, headed to Toronto. Azzi Fudd, the first selection tonight. You saw the reaction from her teammates later on tonight. We will chat with Azzi on set. You know who's in the house? Yeah, plenty of stars. Blage, Olivia Miles, all rocking the orange carpet. Awa Pham Thiam, the 3rd overall pick. Yeah, AZ Fudd. Hey, Sue Bird and company. Yeah, look, in the house. Aubrey, Sandra. Yeah, Paige Becker's in the house. That's right. And Jake from State Farm is in the house as well tonight here at the Shed at Hudson Yards. More picks are in. Golden State selecting Ashlyn Jackson from Duke. LA gets Chance Gray from Ohio State. Indiana takes Justine Passat from Vanderbilt. And the Toronto Tempo selecting Saffron Shields from Australia. As we welcome you back to our set, Ryan Rucco, Rebecca Lobo, and Andrea Carter. All right, the Phoenix Mercury on the clock with the. What are you laughing about?
I'm trying to catch up with all of these.
You're trying to catch up.
I know.
You're doing great, Ryan.
The 27th pick, the first of the night for the Phoenix Mercury. This is a team that their front office has been really creative in how they've been able to build a team that went to the finals a season ago. Again, this year, they don't have early picks, right? So they have to be creative once again.
I think that was the thing that was most interesting to me with Phoenix a year ago. Last year, they had 0 picks in that draft, and they still ended up with 5 rookies on their roster. Granted, a handful of them were 27, 28 years old because they were able to mine some of the talent of young players that had gone overseas to hone their skills. And so here's their roster. They can, I guess, as long as no one gets in foul trouble, they can play right now. But they have certainly done a great job in a different, unorthodox way of building a successful roster.
Yeah, I think it's important to note, too, this is the last year of the Kalia Copper trade. They had a couple of other trades where they lost their picks. This is actually a leg up because you mentioned they had no picks last year, but their ability to scout talent. I mean, Monika Koamakani was their starting point guard. Her first time in the country was for training camp. So I trust Phoenix's ability to find exactly who they're looking for and who will fit.
All right, well, it is time for the selection. With the 27th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Phoenix Mercury select Inès Pitarch-Grenelle from France. Talked about it internationally, how this organization has done a really nice job mining different international areas to fill out their roster. We're also seeing that become more of a theme in this league.
Today, they signed 2 French forwards as well. So now we have a trio that Holly can speak to when we go to Phoenix Mercury games.
That's right. And I think that there is just a general trust, right, with their ability to scout there because of what you both were talking about. All right, we have another selection in with the 28th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft. The Atlanta Dream select India Navar from the University of North Carolina. We saw her really play well in that matchup against UConn, where the Tar Heels gave the Huskies a scare in the Sweet 16. Rebecca, we were joking about it sitting there courtside watching. She was playing like she was 6'3". She's not, but it feels like she has that kind of size.
It's so funny because Chinea Gumake and I were at that exact same game. We're sitting up in the stands and we looked up her size and we're like, wait, she's not 6'2", she's not 6'3". She plays,
we did the exact same thing.
She plays so much bigger than her size. She's a 5'10" guard but has a big presence. The UConn game, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals. She knocked down a 3. She's got great length, averaged a career best just under 11 points per game, shot 45% from the field. She's also grown more confident as a 3-point shooter, so that's an area where she can continue to develop now that she's in the league.
All right, well, AZ Fudd, the #1 selection tonight. She will join the show next, coming to the desk after being the #1 overall selection.
Introducing the Jalapeno Ranch Club. I need a little ranch, step to the ranch. Spicy, grilled, original, all ranched up. Candied bacon, a buttermilk ranch bun, pickled jalapenos, and pepper jack cheese with a kick. Available for a limited time. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
You're really buying a car online on AutoTrader?
Really, and I'm getting it from a local dealer. Can you really be that picky with your search?
Really.
So you really just drop in your info and poof, car's in your range?
Really?
You can really buy the car completely online?
Really?
We're really getting the car at the dealership now?
Really?
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 I'll drive.
Shotgun!
Really?
Buy your car online on AutoTrader. Really?
Well, the defending champion, Las Vegas Aces, on the clock for the first time tonight. What a season last year. Started off slow, 14-14. Then they finish 16-0, a 16-game winning streak into the playoffs. Got pushed by Seattle, but escaped. Got pushed by Indiana, but escaped. And then were able to sweep the Phoenix Mercury. Asia Wilson, a four-time MVP, just continues to add trophies to that already stacked case. And here at the Shed at Hudson Yards, she will soon find out who the next player to join her team will be. Vegas has done a nice job retaining all that top talent. You know, speaks to what they've built there with Becky Hammond and the Aces, that, you know, these players, they want to stay, whether it's a Jewel Lloyd, a Chelsea Gray, a Jackie Young, or of course, an Asia.
Their top six scorers returned from a year ago. They were able to add Brianna Turner in free agency as well. Melissa Smith in perhaps the best shape of her life coming into this season. So this is a team poised and ready and hopeful to repeat.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity for a rookie to have a team that knows what it takes to win a championship. I mean, when we talk about dynasties, the most recent one is the Las Vegas Aces and their ability to win season after season. Even when things don't look like they're going well early in the season, they're able to figure it out.
And when you look at their loaded roster, the one thing they need, a rookie salary.
Well, they're going to get that. With the 29th pick of the 2026 WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Janiyah Barker from the University of Tennessee.
Janiyah Barker at 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan, pro size, athleticism, and a pro skill set already. She can score from the perimeter, has solid handles, attacks the rim well. One GM described her to me as having insane physical skills.
Yeah, 47% from the field, 37% from beyond the arc this season. Had to create most of her shots. She won't have to do that alongside Chelsea Gray and the Las Vegas Aces, but 6'4" forward with guard skills, bringing all of that talent to Vegas.
All right, well, coming up next, we have a special ESPN hockey matchup, a huge game for the Los Angeles Kings, who are trying to get closer to locking up the final wild card spot in the West. They will be in Seattle squaring off against the Kraken. We have the final selection of the second round here in the 2026 WNBA draft. And with the 30th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Dariana Little-Page-Buggs from Baylor University. So that is the final pick of the second round tonight.
Yeah, Little-Page-Buggs at 6'1", does her work in the paint as an undersized post, can be relentless on the glass, including 3 offensive rebounds per game. But look at that, 5 draft picks for this young Washington Mystics team.
And that's after they had 3 first-rounders last year. There is the second round tote board. The third round is coming up next on ESPN.
The WNBA Draft 2026 is presented by State Street Investment Management, SPY, official ETF partner of the WNBA.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Tremfya goes beyond the skin. Less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. And Tremfya even reduced fatigue. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
Oh, it's time for the third round of the WNBA Draft 2026 here at the Shed at Hudson Yards. And we'll get right to it with the 31st pick of the 2026 WNBA Draft. The Dallas Wings select Z Spearman from the University of Tennessee. And with the 32nd pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft, the Chicago Sky select Tony Morgan from the University of Connecticut. For the 33rd pick in the WNBA Draft, we're going to send things back to the podium where the commissioner has the selection.
With the 33rd pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft, the Connecticut Sun select Sarah Williams from the University of Connecticut.
Well, you hear the raucous ovation for Sarah Williams, who transferred to Connecticut this season, did a really nice job as the starting five, and here in the crowd with her teammates, and now selected.
Sarah Williams at 6'4" showed she can hold her own inside and switch defensively out on the perimeter. Much lower usage at UConn than she had previously at Wisconsin, where in her junior year averaged 19 points and 10 rebounds a game. Certainly the Connecticut Sun in their last season in the state, pending WNBA Board of Governors approval, will be thrilled to see Sarah Williams potentially on the roster.
Through her career, consistent 60+% field goal percentage at the rim, career high 67% at UConn. You mentioned her time at Wisconsin. Took more catch and shoot jumpers in her time there. Certainly some potential to grow in that area in the W.
All right, you see those 4 selections for Connecticut tonight. Meanwhile, there have been a whole lot of selections from the Washington Mystics tonight, and there is another now with the 34th pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft. The Washington Mystics select Rory Harmon from the University of Texas.
Rory Harmon is a point guard, a winner, and one of the most experienced players and greatest winners at Texas. She sets the tone defensively with her on-ball pressure and helped rebuild Texas basketball from the ground up. First player in Texas women's basketball program history with 1,200 points and 700 assists and the all-defensive team. Offensively and defensively, she can be a leader.
Only 5'6", but that's never stopped Rory Harmon. Incredibly disruptive defender. Got her bounce back this year, and you could see her able to hit her mid-range. Low volume, but did prove that she can shoot threes at a 45% clip this year.
An iconic player for that Texas program, and so happy for Rory Harmon as she goes to the Washington Mystics. With the 35th pick in the 2026 WNBA Draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Amelia Hassett from the University of Kentucky. We know this is a big-time shooting threat. We saw the way she was able to succeed in Kenny Brooks' offense at Kentucky, and now headed to the LA Sparks.
Yeah, certainly can bring some shooting at her size at 6'4". And one of the things Kentucky used her to do is run the floor, run to the corner, space the floor. We saw her in multiple games just get on fire, hit 5 or 6 threes in a game. This is a young woman who helps space the floor and, again, brings great shooting at her size.
She's also a blue-collar player, plays with toughness and physicality. You mentioned 5 or 6 threes a game. She averaged just under 3 made threes a game.
All right, we'll step aside, come back with more selections in this third round on a wonderful night in New York City.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Tremfya goes beyond the skin. Less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. And Tremfya even reduced fatigue. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
All right, the third round continues here from New York City. A few more selections have been made with the 36th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft. The Toronto Tempo select Charlize Dunn from Davidson. With the 37th pick, the Portland Fire select Taylor Bigby from TCU. And with the 38th pick, the Golden State Valkyries select Kokoro Tanaka from Japan. We know the international theme has been a big one tonight. You know what else has been a theme tonight? The first overall selection, AZ Fudd, who joins us now. AZ, congratulations. The first pick of this year's draft. I'm sure there's some anticipation, some knowledge that it could happen, but what does it actually feel like when you sit there and hear your name called first overall?
There's no words to really describe that feeling. Surreal. I had goosebumps the whole time, but seriously, I'm so grateful. It just was a super special moment, and to share it with my family, with my friends, with my teammates. I mean, this really is a dream come true.
You're a player who watches the WNBA. What are some of your initial thoughts about rejoining Paige, but also Arike Ogunbowale and some of the other talent they have in Dallas?
Initial reaction, pure excitement. I can't wait. Obviously Paige, Arike, getting to watch them, and then seeing their new pieces. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to learn how to play with them, learn how they play, their style of play, and how I can contribute.
You know, AZ, you mentioned style of play, and we spend so much time talking about you and your game, but in your opinion, what are the strengths that you are bringing to this Dallas team?
Yeah, I'm a great shooter, but I think something special is I know how to space the floor. I know how to read the game. I know how to do what my team needs, whether it's spacing, whether that's cutting, whether it's off-ball movement, whatever it is. I'm going to do that, and yeah, just contribute any way I can.
You talked about it earlier too, AZ, but what is it like going through this experience with the other members of your draft class and just spending this condensed time together, going through the car wash of events that you guys do, but the amount of time you spend together getting to know each other at this incredible moment in your lives?
It was amazing to share this weekend, this experience with them. We spend so much time competing against each other from high school to now, competing against each other. So to get this weekend to get to know each other, to share this, we're all going through this at the same time. It's been super special. I was so happy to see every single one of them get drafted tonight, see their names up on the board. So I'm so proud of them. They've been through a lot and they deserve this as well.
I heard you joking before, Drea, with AZ pregame about the nails because...
Wait, did you change nails? They didn't look like this earlier.
No.
Those are fire.
Yeah, I had to switch. I switched my outfit, switched the nails.
You switched nails mid. Wow, that's a new one, mid-draft. But Gino told you needed to cut them down last time in order for the shots to start falling, which seemed to work against Syracuse in the second round.
It did work. This is only for drafts. You don't play with these nails on.
No. That would be really difficult to knock down shots with them. I don't know. Some players do it. But,
I don't know how they do it.
AZ, your journey through UConn, there were ups, there were downs. When you think about the player you were going into the University of Connecticut and the player you are today and the person you are today, what are some of the biggest differences in terms of how you've grown?
I think the biggest difference is my confidence. When I step on the floor, just believing in myself, what I'm capable of, I know I belong. And I know what I can contribute. I know what I bring. And yeah, I'd say my confidence.
Well, we can't wait to see you bring that to Dallas. Congratulations, AZ, on an amazing night and being the #1 overall pick.
Thank you guys so much.
AZ Fudd, the #1 overall pick tonight, as she heads to the Dallas Wings. Meanwhile, another selection is in with the 39th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft. The Seattle Storm select Grace Van Slooten from Michigan State.
Grace Van Slooten is a 6'3" forward, averaged 15 points per game the last 3 seasons. So the mark of consistency this most recent season, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. She does most of her work in the paint, but she can face up and put the ball on the floor for 1 or 2 dribbles. Not a 3-point threat, but can also face up. She likes the reverse pivot into a mid-range jump shot and plenty of room to grow in her game.
You see the selections for Seattle tonight. They have traded Suarez in a deal with Golden State and acquired Flau'jae Johnson. So you add Flau'jae Johnson to that core. We'll keep the third round picks going right now. And with the 40th pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Jessica Timmons from the University of Alabama. And here are the three selections tonight for the Indiana Fever. We know this team, they are ready to compete right now with who they have on their roster, who they've drafted in recent years, and then also the free agency selections. How about their picks tonight?
I love what they did in free agency, and credit to Amber Cox, and I also love what they've done here in the WNBA draft. Justine Passat, of course, 6'4", a player who can come down and make threes in transition. Just a problem because of her length and versatility offensively. But I love Raven Johnson for them. Why? If she comes off the bench for Caitlin Clark, she brings a totally different type of player, a different defender. You think about her potentially alongside Caitlin Clark, that can work as well. Just a lot of exciting possibilities for Indiana.
All right. How about New York? The Liberty have not selected yet tonight. We get to talk about them right now. We mentioned the addition of Satu Sabali earlier. This is a Liberty team that's just 1 year removed from a championship, and there's a whole lot of talent right there in those five players, Drea.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And the addition of Satu Sabali, something I thought that the Liberty were missing at times last season was speed and power and athleticism. Satu Sabali certainly brings those things. I mean, this right here, this is a mean roster.
Oh, it also brings a ton of length when you look at that potential starting five. And their GM, Jonathan Kolb, said this could be one of the most versatile lineup combinations in WNBA history because of the versatility of the unicorn in Satu Sabali. And remember, this is a New York Liberty team that started the season a year ago 9-0. And then they dealt with injury after injury after injury. So they had a great championship core returning this year if they stay healthy, plus the addition of Sabali. Watch out.
All right. Their pick is in with the 41st pick in the 2026 WNBA draft. The New York Liberty select Manuela Poch from Australia. So another international pick here tonight. That has been a huge theme. We've seen the league trending this way, and the Liberty take the 6'1" forward from Australia. We'll step aside again here on the WNBA draft. Come back with more selections as we near the finish line of tonight's draft.
Now we get to talk about the games and the fun.
Here we go! Becker steps into a three. She can't miss. The finish! Mark, another long three. She's back!
Good D! Brianna Storm Dagger! Wilson. You bet! You bet! That's three of a kind for the Las Vegas Aces.
It's about that time! It's about that time!
Well, the Aces dynasty is certainly a big story going into this season. As we wrap up the third round of the 2026 WNBA draft, here are the final four selections. With the 42nd pick, the Phoenix Mercury select Esther Ratkai from Hungary. With the 43rd pick, the Atlanta Dream select Kajia Ran from China. With the 44th pick, the Las Vegas Aces select Jordan Obi from the University of Kentucky. And with the 45th and final pick in the 2026 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Lonnie White from the University of Utah. As we welcome you back to our set one final time tonight, Ryan Rucco alongside Rebecca Lobo, Andrea Carter, Holly Rowe. And, you know, we are nearing the start of this season. We are less than a month away from the start of action, thanks to the transformative CBA that the league and the players agreed upon. This game gets to continue moving forward. Rebecca, when you think about what you are most excited for in this, the 30th season of the WNBA, what comes to mind?
I think part of it is that this is a huge milestone for the WNBA in its 30th year, and I'm eager to see how some of the championship contenders continue to form with Vegas and New York and Indiana. And also, of course, there's so much young talent. We started the show talking about it, 54 additional jobs that there weren't a year ago. How is some of that young talent going to come to fruition for some of these teams?
You know, the championship contenders we will always have our eye on. Just looking at this draft, I'm excited about some of these teams that were supposedly in rebuild years. The Washington Mystics once again blew me away. They did the same thing last season, using all their picks. They got great pieces. I love what Seattle was able to do. I feel like we always make history. Like these recent years, it's history after history making things. We did that tonight with UCLA and all the draftees that we have, so I'm looking forward to more history being made.
You know what I'm looking forward to? We got a bunch of millionaires in this league. Come on. All these women who have been grinding since they were little girls are about to get paid, and it makes me feel very emotional. We have been building this for so long. And to see Tina Thompson here tonight, it started there, and here we are. These women deserve this. They have worked for this, and so I'm excited for everybody who is going to get paid what they deserve finally. And then wait, I do have one basketball one if I can quit crying.
Go ahead.
Is the Las Vegas Aces, hello, can we talk about them being able to keep Chelsea Gray, who is ascending in this moment, getting better? Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, I think what they were able to keep as their core and the pieces they'll add, don't sleep on the Aces.
And Holly, just to piggyback on that, I was walking by Madison Square Garden today, and the old Southgate Tower, which is where the players from that first couple of years in the New York Liberty stayed, and the max salary at the time being $50,000, and how far this league has come. Congratulations to these young women.
And, you know, part of the reason it has come this far is the emotion we see from people like you, Holly, the incredible, genuine investment that people have who are in and around this league, whether on the floor or behind the scenes. That is going to wrap things up for us tonight. We are going to get you to the Los Angeles Kings and the Seattle Kraken. Coming up next, we'll see you in early May on ABC to tip off the season for Tim Corrigan, Hillary Guy, Rodney Vaughn, Joshua Carswell, Ashley Ward, Rebecca Lobo, Holly Rowe, Andrea Carter, and our entire crew. I'm Ryan Rucco. What a historic night in New York City.
Just wanna have a good night. Oh no, no. If you broke, then you gotta let go. You gotta have. 'Cause when you yeah, 'cause girls is
The championship word is yacht more chicken?
How many syllables?
Yacht more chicken. Yacht more chicken. Four.
Sound it out.
EATMORCHIKIN. Eat more chicken.
Correct?
Yes! That's why we practice.
Everyone has free offers on the latest phones, but T-Mobile gives a lot more. T-Mobile families saved over $3,700 compared to the other big guys in the past 5 years. Our experience plans include amazing benefits like Netflix, free Dash Pass by DoorDash, and a bunch more. Oh yeah, and a 5-year price guarantee. So you keep saving. Save on a big scale. Switch to T-Mobile and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800.